Welcome, my dear listeners. Stay with me to get the spoilers first and subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen on The Bold and the Beautiful. Will pushed RJ fall into the sea? The beach war is getting bigger and bigger for fans of The Bold and the Beautiful. The Bold and the Beautiful has taught viewers that a love triangle can quickly turn into a full-blown disaster. The new rivalry between Will Spencer and RJ Forrester is at the center of the storm right now. Electra is stuck in the middle and is making things worse. The most recent CBS episode guide shows that this story has been building for weeks, with Will and RJ getting more and more angry with each other, Reese firing warning shots and Brooke telling RJ to follow his heart. So when fans ask, will RJ fall into the ocean? Our real question is whether this soap feud is about to get physical, emotional and deadly all at once. Official spoilers don't say that anyone falls into the water. But they do say that the tension is already high enough that a fight on the beach could happen. For months, RJ and Will have been circling each other, and the show has slowly turned them into the kind of rivalry that will last for a long time. The Bold and the Beautiful loves to stretch, twist, and then blow up at the worst possible time. The setup started when CBS episode guide said that a newly single Will attracts the attention of Dylan. On March 4, just 2 days later, Will was already giving Steffi surprising news. The network's episode guide made the rivalry clear by March 16, saying that RJ and Will's animosity toward each other grows. By the end of March, the triangle was in the open, but RJ and Electra were still trying to figure out their feelings, and Will and Electra's relationship was still tense. The long game was made even clearer by Soap Central's January preview. The site said that Brian Nicoletti had taken over as RJ Forrester and that he's put him in a simmering cauldron with Will, Electra and Dylan. Soap Central also said that the setup could lead to a Spencer versus Forrester rivalry for the younger generation. This is the kind of framework that soap writers love to use before a fight turns into a full-blown scandal. That's why the ocean rumor seems true, even before any spoilers back it up. These characters are already connected to the beach house, the beach, and all the danger that comes with a soap opera set on the water. Soap Central says that Dylan is staying at Will's beach house, and the CBS guide shows that the beach house and office storyline are happening at the same time. When a soap opera puts angry young lovers near the ocean, viewers know that the waves are more than just a backdrop. They could be proof. In February, CBS said that Ivy manipulates the situation between Electra and RJ on February 25, which made things even more tense. During that same time, there was also a recap of Will falling for Ivy's trap and seeing Electra and RJ kiss, which turned this from a simple flirtation into a rivalry with teeth. The Bold and the Beautiful usually starts counting down to revenge when a character sees the wrong kiss at the wrong time. On March 4, Soap Central said that Dylan kissed Will passionately to make him feel better. That detail is important because it shows that Will is not only losing ground to RJ, but he is also being pulled emotionally in a different direction. That kind of split attention is like petrol for soap. A character who feels rejected in one way and validated in another is often just one bad choice away from disaster. The CBS episode guide said that the rivalry was moving from theory to real life on March 23 and 24. On March 23, Electra had an emotional fight with Will. The next day, Dylan and Will celebrated their first day at Forrester. It looks fine on paper, but in soap opera terms, it's the kind of calm before the storm setup that usually comes before betrayal, jealousy, or a public fight. April then turned up the heat even more. According to CBS episode guide, Brooke told RJ to follow his heart on April 14. The next day, Reese told RJ not to bring his personal life to work. That 1-2 punch gives the viewer all the information they need. RJ's love life is affecting his work life, and his family is keeping a close eye on him. On April 15, Soap Opera News said that Reese was warning RJ not to bring his personal life to work. That one-two punch gives the viewer all the information they need. RJ's love life is affecting his work life, and his family is keeping a close eye on him. On April 15, Soap Opera News said that Reese was warning RJ after office drama, and the Scoop said that Will was making this case to Electra and Rich was warning RJ about fighting in the office. That office fight is important because soap feuds don't stay in one place for long. They start with jealousy, but they end with someone being pushed, exposed, or embarrassed in public. If Rich has to tell RJ to stop bringing his personal problems to work, that means the story is already going beyond romance. The characters are no longer just fighting about their feelings, they are making everyone else pick a side. The most interesting part of the puzzle came from Soap Central preview for the week of April 13. It said that Ivy gets help from RJ and Daphne asks Carter for advice. That tells us that RJ is still making new friends. Even though his love life is getting more complicated, it also means that the show isn't done using him as a pawn in the fight for power among younger people. In soap operas, a character who changes sides or seems to change sides is that kind of person who can get into a lot of trouble near water, a railing, or by making a bad choice. As a soap fan, the best way to read the Will pushed RJ fall into the ocean talk is as a sign of trouble ahead, not as a spoiler. There is nothing in official CBS materials that says RJ goes overboard or that Will push him into the sea. What they do say is that Will and RJ's fight is getting worse, that their personal lives are getting in a way of their work, and that the love triangle is still open enough to surprise everyone. In other words, the ocean theory hasn't been proven, but the conditions of a dramatic near-drowning, a fight, or a rescue are definitely there. That's what makes the story a good soap opera. Will is not only trying to get Electra's attention, he's also dealing with hurt, jealousy, and the pain of being an outsider in a world where the Foresters seem to close ranks quickly. Meanwhile, RJ is being forced to play the part of the polished Forester here who suddenly has something to prove. In his January preview, Soap Central portrayed him as a man with baggage from the Luna tragedy and a possible future as a Forester who must protect his territory from a Spencer. That setup almost begs for a fight to happen. The old soap formula says that when two hot guys start fighting over the same woman near a body of water, the audience should expect more than just a show. It should be ready for what will happen, a mistake, a rescue, a false story about what really happened, a witness who only saw part of the event, a secret that the next episode changes. Even if no one goes into the ocean, the show has already built up enough tension that everyone on screen could say they saw something different. And that might be why fans are so excited. The show has spent months building a triangle that isn't really a triangle at all. Instead, it's a bigger web of jealousy that includes Will, RJ, Electra, Dylan, Ivy, Brooke, Ridge, and Daphne. The episode guide from CBS, the previews from Soap Central, and the different recaps all point to a young cast story that keeps going back on itself with kisses, fights, office warnings, and changing loyalties. That kind of structure almost always ends with one big moment that everyone can watch again later. Will push RJ into the ocean. The truth is that no official spoiler backs it up. But the honest answer also says this. The Bold and the Beautiful has clearly put these two men in a position where they could collide, and wouldn't take much to turn a beach house fight into a full-blown soap opera disaster. A push, a trip, a splash, a rescue, or a cover-up would all fit with the story the show has already told. The ocean is still just a possibility for now, but one this soap, a chance can turn into a disaster very quickly. And this is where things stop feeling like a simple love triangle and start feeling like a moment that could change everything in 1 second. Because let's be honest, when emotions get this raw, it doesn't take a planned attack. It takes one bad reaction. In my opinion, if something happens on that beach, it won't be about who owns Electra it will be about who lost control first. And that's what makes Will so unpredictable right now. He's hurt, he's angry, and he feels like he's already losing. And those are the exact conditions where mistakes happen. But RJ isn't innocent in this either. He is being pushed to prove himself, to defend his place, and sometimes pride can be just as dangerous as jealousy. So the real danger isn't the ocean, it's the emotion building right next to it. And here's the question you cannot ignore. If one of them falls, will it really be an accident or something neither of them can take back? And if Electra witnesses it, who will she believe? The man she loves or the man she fears losing? Because here's my prediction, even if no one goes into the water, something will happen that changes how these characters see each other forever. A line will be crossed, and there's no coming back from that. And the scariest part, the truth of what really happened might not come out right away. So watch closely because this piece isn't just a setting anymore. It's a breaking point, and once it hits someone's life, reputation or future could sync with it.